What's up everyone, I am back with another and hopefully the last discussion of a recently announced game this week, but here I am today because we finally got an actual announcement of Atlus's mysterious Project ReFantazio, which is now called Metaphor ReFantazio. Unlike the trailers for Persona 3 Reload and Persona 5 Tactica, this trailer actually wasn't leaked and was revealed yesterday during the Xbox Games Showcase. Now, before I get into my overall thoughts on the trailer, for those of you that are new, I want to give you all a brief history of this game and why this reveal is such a big deal. This game was first announced, or teased, if you can even call it that, all the way back in December of 2016, before we even had Persona 5 in English, and before Shin Megami Tensei 5 was announced. All we got was this picture of some red-headed elf girl drawn by Soejima, and Atlus stating that it wasn't going to be related to Megami Tensei or Persona, but would instead be a new IP from a new development studio, Studio Zero, but development would be headed by several veteran developers of Persona and Megami Tensei. Shortly after that, we would get small bits of information here and there, but nothing concrete, but that didn't stop Atlus from trying to hype this game up despite a severe lack of material. I mean, I imagine that when it was announced, it was in an extremely early state of development, and then Atlus just announced it so that they had something their fans could look forward to that wasn't related to SMT or Persona. After that, we would just be slowly drip-fed information about what little development was going on for the next year, until in December of 2017 when Atlus Japan uploaded 2 videos about the project to their YouTube channel. The first of which being a video that had one of the developers narrating over some more early concept art, and then some people just standing around. And the other one is literally just a 5-minute video of a guy in a night costume eating a piece of chicken. If there is no reference to that in the final game, Atlus deserves a class action lawsuit. But anyway, the following year we would be drip-fed some more info. That elf girl would appear as DLC in Etrian Odyssey Nexus, but other than that, we wouldn't really get much in the way of info for the next several years aside from updates on how the development was going. That is until now, where the game has been revealed as Metaphor ReFantazio, and it's going to be coming next year for PC and Xbox Series X and S. Now let's move on to the trailer itself, and I gotta say, I am very impressed. This game looks absolutely beautiful. Everything from the graphics to the designs to even the FMV anime cutscenes. This is going to be Atlus's first game made exclusively for 9th gen consoles, not to be held back by the last gen, and it looks amazing. But not only that, this trailer actually features gameplay. Granted, it's not a lot of it, but it is enough to get a pretty good idea of what this game is going to play like, and it looks like it's going to be a turn-based RPG, which is great because not only is turn-based combat what Atlus does best, but also the fact that it's just really nice to see a new JRPG with a fantasy setting like this with this type of gameplay. Now, while this is a new IP, you can tell that there is some of that Persona and SMT flavor in here. The structure of the menus especially bear a strong resemblance to those found in Persona 5 and SMT 5, but personally, I don't have a problem with this. I mean, I know they are really pushing that this game isn't related to either of these, but it is the same developers, so I think that's fine. There's also the fact that this game doesn't yet have a release date, just 2024, which almost always means that it won't be coming out until the 4th quarter, but I mean, there's already more than enough content to hold us over until then, and normally I would be worried about there being a delay, but we haven't actually gotten a delay from an Atlus game in quite a while. I think Atlus learned their lesson about giving games unrealistic release dates after the Orwellian conspiracy that was Persona 5's Winter 2014 release date. The last thing I think worth mentioning is how the game is only confirmed to be coming to the Xbox Series X and PC, no PlayStation or Nintendo consoles. I'm sure this is going to be disappointing to some people, but I'm not really surprised given how much Microsoft has been working with Sega and Atlus over the last couple years, and also the fact that Microsoft has been really spending a lot of money on all these exclusivity deals. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if Sega is the next company Microsoft has their eyes on acquiring, and if it did happen, I wouldn't even really be all that upset either. But getting back on topic, I don't think a PS5 port is out of the realm of possibility, but I'm not really expecting one either. And if it does happen, it's probably not going to come out for a few months to a year after the game launches. Now, that's all I have to say about the new Metaphor trailer, but I also want to talk about Persona 3 Reload again, because since this game has been officially announced, we've been getting updates for it, and most of them have driven the majority of my excitement for this remake into the ground. Mainly because there is not going to be any content from FES or Portable. What? Okay, I gotta be honest. I'm not really all that surprised that the FMC isn't going to be included, because that would be almost like making another game. They'd probably have to make even more new content on top of what they're already doing and reanimating the FMV cutscenes and stuff, and that probably just isn't in their time or budget right now. But nothing from FES? Really? I get that a lot of fans have mixed opinions on the answer, but you could also say the same about Persona 3 in general. It's one of the reasons so many fans have been asking for a remake. If anything, this could be seen as an opportunity to address the issues fans have with the answer and turn it into something almost everyone unanimously loves. And in the interview, they didn't even specify if it was just the answer they're omitting. They said, "So first I'd like to mention that since the basic concept of the Persona 3 remake was to remake Persona 3, we don't have the FES and Portable contents included." So does that mean they're not going to be including any of the new content from FES? Like Aegis's social link or the new items like the high cut armor? What about the other new content and updates they added in Portable, like Maniac Mode, Theodore, or the Vision quests? Is that going to be excluded too? Because if it is, that would be just downright embarrassing. Okay, so quick correction here. The article that stated this was pretty vague and not very well translated, and since then there have been other articles that are more clear and pretty much confirm that most of the new content that FES added to the base game will still be returning, like Aegis's social link has been heavily implied along with the dates with Elizabeth. The trailer also does clearly show that party members will be controllable, which I probably should have mentioned, but either way, this suggests that some of the improvements and features from Portable will be brought back as well. There's still no solid confirmation of what will and won't be returning, but we can at least take comfort in the fact that most of the smaller features and quality of life improvements will be coming back. The worst part is that FES still has yet to be re-released on modern platforms, meaning the answer is going to fade even further into obscurity. But then again, maybe that's what Atlus wants, insulting as it may be. I'm still clinging to the faint glimmer of hope that at the very least the answer will be post-launch DLC, but how often does Atlus do post-launch DLC? It's probably more likely that they'll just re-release FES Reload or something. Plus, and I don't actually think the developers themselves have anything to do with this, but if the idea is to just recreate the original Persona 3 as closely as possible, why are they completely recasting all the characters? I don't recognize any of these English voice actors, but from what I've heard from everyone else, they seem to be pretty good, but I still don't know how to feel about this. I'm sure they'll do a fine job, and I'm also sure a lot of the original voice actors will charge way too much nowadays, but I don't know. I'll wait till the game comes out before I make any judgments about the new cast. On the plus side, I'm at least looking forward to not having to hear Amanda Wynn Lee's voice when Persona 4 gets remade. Oh, and while we still don't have official confirmation that this game is coming to all platforms, there are some very legitimate looking leaks that show it being available for all other platforms. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the new info for the Persona 3 remake. I'm sure the remake is still going to be a good game. I mean, Persona 3 is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time, but I really don't know how to feel about the fact that we're now getting remakes that somehow have even less content than their earlier versions. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my other links in the description. And until the next video, I will see you guys later.